Well, I just started recording, so
Oh,
yes.
so let me close this.
Yeah.
And it's not that. I want this. And I want this. Yes, I want that. Okay, cool.
You good?
I think so.
All right. So what are we
Like you don't
talking?
have to. You don't have to. Wait. We didn't. You need to start over.
No, no, it's fine.
No, you need to start over.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, because it's
You
fun to see
can't.
you annoyed.
Uh,
What are we talking about this week?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the video game.
Yeah. Here's the logo, and here's the slideshow starting.
So I'm totally not prepared for this.
That's all right. I'm about to go into the intro anyway, so
Okay.
boom. And we're back. Oh, I just hit my mic. I'm sorry if you heard that. Okay, so Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1.
Yes.
Technically, it's a 90s game,
Technically, it is
but
because it was made in 1999
so like we
or released in 1999. It
yeah,
was made.
August 31st. August 31st, 1999.
So what? You were like 12 already.
No. 99,
Eight,
I was 8.
9, 8. Yeah.
Right? Well, especially August 31st, I would have been a newbie 8-year-old.
Newbie 8-year-olds. So the reason I wanted to pick this is because the Tony Hawk Pro Skater documentary premieres next week. So it's called Pretending I'm a Superman. And we're going to talk about that in probably 5 minutes anyways.
Now it's stuck in my head already.
Right. But it features Tony Hawk, Rodney Mullen, and a few other pro skaters from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. And I'm really excited for it. So it's premiering February 29th, so this week, at Mammoth Film Festival.
Do you know where that is?
I don't know
Okay.
physically where it is,
You don't have to
unfortunately.
look, I was just wondering.
But it was announced back in August, and I haven't really heard much about it until I think probably last week, maybe 2 weeks ago now. But it premieres February 29th at Mammoth Lakes, so wherever that is. I'm assuming it's probably maybe a ski resort. I don't know. Let's see.
I'm sorry. I saw something earlier that said September 31st, but now I'm reading the Wikipedia, and it says Tony Hawk's Pro Skater released as Tony Hawk Skateboarding in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, and parts of Europe, is a skateboarding video game developed by Neversoft and published by Activision. It was released for the PlayStation on September 29th, 1999.
Okay.
So I don't know where that August 31st came from.
I think that might be for N64, maybe?
Well, no, it says and was later ported to 64, Game Boy Color, Dreamcast, and N-Gage. N-Gage.
Oof. There's a blast from the past.
Okay. Okay.
Gotcha. Just let me pull out my N-Gage, guys.
Jesus.
We were talking about the 90s, but I didn't think we were going that far back.
Yeah, jeez. But, yeah. So, two conflicting dates there. But, yeah, same time period. I was still 8.
Time. Yeah. And I was still 7. So, what's your first memory of playing this game? Did you have it on the PlayStation or did you get it on the N64?
I had it on N64. I used to love that game. I don't remember if I had it. Probably not. 99, I did not have...
You didn't have your own N64
I didn't have
yet?
my N64 yet. It was probably 2000 when I got it for Christmas.
Okay.
No. Majora's Mask didn't come out yet, so it had to have been 2002 when I got it, because I got it after Majora's Mask came out. So it was like I got my own 64 2002, but it was I would play on my brother's.
Gotcha.
And I always remember just falling off the skateboard because
Bailing, and because you weren't very good,
I
and
wasn't
because
very
you
good.
were a child still?
Yes. And just I used to get amusement out of just the model just boom like falling on the ground, getting back up and back on the skateboard, and I don't know. I just thought it was really cool because I'm not a sports guy. I couldn't skateboard, but it was fun because I could play it in a video game. It's one of my earliest like sports games that I remember playing that I didn't like, not like.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I
And
didn't like other sports games because at the end of the day it's a video game, kind of cool, but I wouldn't play all of them. Like Madden bores me, but that's not for this subject.
yeah, so I think the first time I played it was, I don't think I played it at your house. I think I played it at my other friend's house so like I said, probably in the last video, I lived in my grandparents' house for a while, and I had a friend across the street. We went to the same elementary school. His name was also Kevin, and he had a PlayStation and an N64, and I would go over his house all the time, pretty much every day after school, especially on the weekends, and even on the weekends, like after I moved out of my grandparents' house, and we would just play Tony Hawk Pro Skater all the time. And since he owned it, he was so much better than me at it, and we would like try and play each other, and I was just so bad. That's all I remember, like really about my first few times playing Tony Hawk was just not being very good. Like the
Mm-hmm.
only thing that I could do was like grind and like the inverts where you like put your hands on uh, the top of a ramp and like the skateboard's on your feet and you're like
Like
doing
a
a
handstand.
handstand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like that was like the only thing that I remember doing. Was what are those called?
You I don't know.
I don't remember. But like that was probably one of the first video games that I played other than like Pokemon, which was probably like my first video game other than like Pong. I'm sure I played Pong as like a small child because my dad had a PC that would play like games like that. What did you just Google? I
I was
see
just
the white on your face light up a little bit
I
more.
was just getting up the whole soundtrack because I couldn't
Oh, I
remember
already have that
everything.
up.
Oh, okay. Well, then we both
Yeah.
have it.
um, and then, so I just recently, maybe 2 summers ago, was playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater with all my friends down the shore. And that's why I think all of the songs are still stuck in my head.
Mm.
Um, do you remember? I don't know if it's in the track list that you have, but Psycho Visions by Suicidal Tendencies.
See, I'm looking at this list, and I really only remember one song.
Yeah, Superman.
I would have to listen to the other ones. I'm sure that once I hear it, it'll just be like, but
It's
I
like
mean,
Psycho Vision. No,
I would probably know it if I heard it instead
yeah,
of you
probably
just psycho
me
visioning
trying
me.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like I remember the Dead Kennedy song too.
I definitely remember more of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 soundtrack.
Okay, probably
Yeah,
because we were older then.
yeah.
'Cause that one came out in what 2001, 2002,
I don't
probably
have I don't have the
every
the
single.
Wikipedia of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 right now. I only have it for one
Why
Kevin.
not? No.
Because we're not talking about a franchise. We're talking about the first.
Oh man.
The one that
So
started it all, man.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 had a really good soundtrack too. Not gonna lie. There's some Rage Against the Machine, Naughty by Nature, Papa Roach. Those are the three that I could probably pull out that I definitely knew off of that. But we're not talking about that. Let's talk about Superman then.
Yeah.
Do you want to just sing it? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to just sing the
Here
whole
I
song?
am, doing everything I
Everything I
can.
can.
Holding on to
Oh
what
no,
I
I skipped a
am.
beat.
Pretending I'm a
I'm a
Superman.
Superman.
I listen to that song like it's on my
Still?
it's on my
Yeah.
addiction playlist, my addiction songs playlist on Spotify. It comes on all the fucking time. Love that song.
Is that their only song?
No, Goldfinger's big, man.
Really?
Yeah, they're really big. in
What other
Spider-
songs do they have?
What other songs do they have? Goldfinger. We got a lot of stuff.
Really?
They've done 99 Red Balloons.
Okay. That's not their song though.
No, I'm just saying. More Today Than Yesterday. My Everything is a really good song. Also have that song on my addiction playlist. I love that song. But they're
Is this
really
one of the songs that you would play when we would lift out? Yeah, lift out, workout.
lift out. Uh, my everything.
Yeah.
No, because I forgot
Okay,
about
I
the
do know
song
this song.
for a while. So it was like back when I first started listening to Pandora. Uh, that's
I
how
did
I.
not know that that song was by them.
Yeah, when I
I thought
first
that was by
started
someone else.
when I first started listening to Pandora Radio, way back when I was still playing Growl.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, back I guess 2003, 2000 no, 2005 or something like that.
Okay.
Back when Pandora was like kind of new.
Hmm.
There were a bunch of songs that came on. Like I found out about so many good bands, and My Everything was one of the songs that came on. And I loved it so much. But over time, I completely forgot who sang it. Like it would just come up every once in a while. I didn't remember who sang it. And I was listening to Spotify a few months ago, and the song came up, and I'm like, holy shit, it's My Everything. I love this song. Like I still sing all the words. Like I know everything. So I threw it up on my playlist.
This must have been on a video game. It had to have been because that's the only way I would know any of those. It must have been on like, oh, it was on SSX.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe not. Yeah.
It's tricky to rock around, to rock around.
That's right.
It's tricky.
Tricky. Let's see.
So, I mean, while you're looking whatever you're looking up, I kind of think it's cool how much input Tony Hawk had in the game itself.
Yeah.
Like I'm reading the Wikipedia, like I've read the Wikipedia just a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and part of it says, Hawk would spend the development time periodically playing through the game's builds and providing feedback. He'd also select a group of other professional skaters to include as playable characters based on their skills, personalities, and diversity. Each skater received a cut of the royalties and got to select their own attire and special trick for the game. So I just think that's kind of
I
cool.
think I think the coolest thing that happened, I don't really remember video games really before this, where you'd be able to have like characters with their own individual traits. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there were like in
Well, like back in the day,
MMOs, like you have like a mage or you have a ranger, but there was no, I didn't, it's difficult to have.
well, like games like Turtles in Time, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
They had their weapons, but they all
exactly.
basically did the same attack.
They did the same thing. Yeah, it was just like, you can't see both of my hands, but you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just slashing. But like everyone had like their own move, like you were saying, their own like style almost. I think that led to a lot more creativity in other games moving forward, where they were like, oh well, let's like try and differentiate some of these characters. So like, and we also had better graphics at this point, because we're talking N64, PS1, where you can actually tell the difference between characters.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the time before that, like everything was the exact same thing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so the available characters were Tony Hawk, Bob Burnquist, Kareem Campbell, Rune Glifberg, Bucky Lasik, Chad Muska, Andrew Reynolds, Jeff Rowley, Alyssa Steamer, Jamie Thomas, Unlockable Officer Dick, and Unlockable with Cheats Private Carrera. Why does Officer Dick sound familiar? Yeah, it's just the cop, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember playing with. There's no way that I unlocked it, but I have
Yeah.
memories of that. How did you unlock it?
I have no idea.
Oh, the Game Shark most likely is why I had
Yeah.
it. Definitely.
You cheated in every single video game that you played.
Remember when I ruined Animal Crossing for us?
Uh, so I think I enjoyed Animal Crossing more once it was ruined, but then the replayability ended.
Yeah.
Like there was no replayability anymore. It
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, you don't want to do this anymore. Because we had everything. We had literally everything.
Yeah.
Imagine having everything in Animal Crossing now. Like goodness.
Wait a second. What is this?
What?
So, incorporation of motion capture was attempted to aid in the realism of the animation, but due to the technology's infancy, the result ultimately determined to have not translated as well as what had already been animated. The 900 featured in the game was itself drawn from footage of Hawk's famed performance of the feat in the X Games that summer, and was a relatively late addition as a result. But I thought it was going to go into the next paragraph. The collection of videotapes was directly inspired by the collection of stars in Super Mario 64. That's cool.
I mean, that's kind of everything's inspired by it.
Yeah, I guess, but it's just I love when people are like
when they admit it.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk, saw this and like, oh, let's do all this stuff. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just everything about Tony, like coming from me, who I was never a big sports person.
Did you ever own a skateboard, like an actual proper skateboard?
Me, no, but my cousins Chris and Ryan did.
Okay.
And I could roll down the street on it.
Yeah. Same.
I couldn't do anything crazy. They were able to ollie over things and stuff. So there were times where we would stack up skateboards and they would jump over them, but I couldn't.
I had a skateboard. It was under the pool table. I'm sure it's still probably under the pool table. Like if I went in there and I looked for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure while we've worked out sometimes I've put my foot on it and kind of just went back and forth, just waiting.
But I don't ever remember actually skateboarding. I feel like that was one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm going to just go like X Games and I'm going to be a professional skateboarder.
Yeah.
And like I got on a skateboard and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't have the time to figure out how to do it. So I'm just going to leave this here.
I remember it wasn't only skateboards, it was our bikes and stuff too. But there's a street off of my cousin's street that when we were young, man, it was like the steepest freaking street. We would go at the top and go. I go to that street now, and it's like
flat.
It's almost flat, almost completely flat. Like
that's the same thing I think about our street sometimes.
Yeah, but our street is way steeper, and going down our street on a scooter is still pretty scary. Remember when we tried.
That's only because I'll actually hurt myself now.
Yeah, but remember going down the street when we tried doing the waveboard again?
Yeah.
Like a few months ago. We didn't go too high up on the street. No, it was still pretty scary.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary as all hell.
It also doesn't help that there's so many holes in our street.
Also doesn't help that, I don't know. I feel like the type of street rash that you would get sliding down the street now is so much worse than it hasn't been paved since we were kids.
No, they gotta fix stuff and they won't.
Yeah, that's the problem with our town.
Yes. August 26th. Elisa Steamer's inclusion in the game, along with the game's final release on the 29th, was announced. Playable demonstration with only 2 available skaters was integrated into the jam-packed Summer 99 compilation CD released by PlayStation Underground. The game was made available for pre-order the 2 weeks prior to the game's release. Those who pre-ordered the game at Electronics Bouquet, EB Games, man, or Funkoland, respectively, received a miniature replica of Tony Hawk's Birdhouse skateboard.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that's another thing that...
Finger skateboards?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that today.
Go.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, do we make a whole video on all, finger skateboards, bikes, things like that? Do we just, they were a phenomenon, man.
I only really remember finger skateboards. I don't remember... I remember seeing, the commercials for the bikes and the scooters, but I was like, I would rather ride my bike because I actually know how to do that, or ride my scooter because I actually know how to do that. But I think the skateboard was because it was so easily controllable and you could just flick it around all the time and just put your slam it back onto the table. I feel like mine got taken away from me because I was playing with it in whose class was that? It must have
Kurt's?
been, huh?
No, it
I think
would
it
have
was
been.
Miss Khan's class.
Oh, Miss Con. Uh, no, I'm thinking of Connery. I'm
Oh,
thinking of the stupid
no,
math
be nice.
tests. No, I'm
Be
not saying anything bad. I'm
nice.
saying the math test. The ones you can't flip over until she tells you to, and you're just sitting there with a paper of multiplications that you have to do within a certain amount of time. And then she tells you to flip it over, and it's the most nerve-wracking thing. It still gives me nightmares.
Is that the one with the little circles that you had to
No,
fill out?
it's like a
Or is
piece.
it just a
It's a
white piece of paper?
white piece of paper with like
Oh.
100 different math
Yeah, so
equations on it.
there's a thing that we had. Whose class was that? I think it was Hager.
I never had
And
Hager.
uh, so it was like um, you would put the two pieces of paper. They would line up together and it would give you the equations that you had to do.
Oh, sounds like you had more fun than I did.
So there was like 200. It was 100 on each side, and you had to go through all of them. And like the more that you did, the better you scored, or the more you got. I don't remember. Like you had to get the first 25 right, basically, because they were
Yeah.
easy. Then like the next 50 were medium, and then the next were like all hard. But it was like 1 times 1 was one of them.
6.
I'm pretty sure that's the math they're teaching kids right now. Like I'm not even messing around with you.
One
Like I
time,
tried.
one times one, and you have to like put one on a number line, and then put another one on a number line, and then add them together and subtract it from 10. It's like the most absurd way they do math now.
My sister's a first grade teacher. She
Mhm.
teaches first grade. She gave me their math homework, and I got 3 questions wrong, and it was all addition because I don't follow however math you're supposed to do it now. So it's just like this isn't teaching you. Like this is literally worse for your education. I don't understand.
I'm
But we're not going to go.
I'm pretty sure 10 plus 7 is 10 plus 10 minus 3
Yeah,
is how they teach it.
yeah.
But with like number lines and stuff. Like why not just 10
Add
plus
7.
7?
You just move the 7 to where the 0 was.
Yeah. Instead you got to go through all these hoops.
Yeah. There's to do addition, we're doing subtraction.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. But yeah,
The-
anyway.
Super relevant to Tony.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
It's the first one.
So I mostly remember the N64 port, which means
Yeah.
I did not play the game in the 90s all that much.
I mean, we're not gonna only talk about
I know.
90s.
So we're kind of
But this,
cheating.
I feel like this is more like what people remember from the 90s. At
Like
least
90s
like
kids. People born in the 90s grew
Yeah,
up
exactly.
playing
this game.
this
Like
game.
this was exactly, and that's why I want to do like I want to do Pokemon at some point, even though
98.
Was Pokemon 90?
Yep.
And I want to do the Game Boy, but the original Game Boy was before the 90s, right? That was 89.
Yeah, but you know, Game Boy Pocket,
Game Boy
Game Boy
Color.
Color,
Yeah.
which I still have, but well, it's not my original.
I still have my original.
I wish
Boom,
I had
and I
my
have a
original.
second one. Boom. What color was your original Game Boy?
Oh, I got the same one as my original.
So I
Boom.
always felt bad about myself because although I did get a Game Boy for Christmas one year, it was yellow.
The Pocket, right?
No, it's Game Boy Color.
Was the color? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk about Game
No.
Boy Color in this?
No. But we can talk about the fact that this game was ported to the Game
The
Boy.
Game Boy. I never played it. I actually that's a lie. No, I think I played Pro Skater 2 on it on the Game Boy Color.
So I didn't get a picture of this, so I'm just gonna put it up on here. I printed this out. This is the Game Boy version of it, and I can
Yes.
only imagine how ridiculous the gameplay is on the Game
So
Boy.
it was not very good.
I'm gonna pull up a video really quickly. So
Much like all of the other like ports of N64 games. Like, did you ever play Mario Tennis on the Game Boy?
no, but I have Mario Tennis on the Virtual Boy, so I can only imagine it's the same thing.
It's the worst experience you'll ever have. And I'm pretty sure I beat the game. Like I'm pretty sure I got through like all of the tournaments or whatever they were called. And my like character was like all the way leveled up and I had all the best gear. I was like, this was a useless waste of my time. Like didn't gain anything from that other than I think I learned that love meant zero in tennis.
Love meant zero in tennis.
Like 15 love or 40 love.
So you can't see what I'm showing right now,
I can't.
unfortunately, because I'm recording it. But I have the YouTube video up. And no, actually, can I share my screen? No, I'm not even gonna worry about that. Anyway, so it's a top-down, kind of like Paperboy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it I don't know, maybe it's got different parts to it, but I'm just kind of skipping through. It seemed like it's kind of a race. You're not even doing tricks.
So it's on a map. It's on like a linear map.
Yeah, it's not a linear map, and you can go off ramps and stuff, but it looks like you're racing people. It looks interesting.
I thought you could do like 360s or like stuff like that, no?
I mean, it looks like you could do. It doesn't look like you have
Any control.
any left or right control.
Huh. Interesting.
It looks like it's only like vertical.
I feel like I want to give us I don't recommend or I'm not going to say that I'm going to get this on an emulator, but I'm definitely not going to get it on an emulator.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try it. It's probably
Just to see what
really
it's
bad.
like. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine that it's not a very good game. But I mean, I'm not going to buy it. I wonder if they sell it on eBay.
I also want to see what the Engage version looks like. I'm sure it's the same game. Let's see, what does this thing say? This thing says...
No, you could do tricks. You could do jumps.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
you
was
could
saying. You
move.
could do jumps, but you can
You
only
could
go...
angle yourself left and right.
But I mean, there's no, like, left and right. You could just go... Like,
No, you go
angled.
in a straight
You
line.
can't go left or right. Like, you can't go on a pipe, you know?
Yeah.
Half pipe, whatever. This thing looks like it was talking. I should have put the numbers on this. I don't know what pages go with which here. Good job, Tom.
So you said that you remember probably Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 or 3 better than the first one, right?
Yeah.
Did you play any of the later ones? Did you play like Project 8, which was for 360?
I tried playing Skate because I think that was in
Skate.
the...
Yeah, that
Was
wasn't
that-
Tony Hawk, though, was it?
No, I thought it was.
I don't know.
But I haven't played anything probably past that. The third one, maybe?
Okay. Gotcha.
Uh,
I mean, Skate was another EA game, but I don't think it was part of the Tony Hawk series.
The game. This is something about the Game Boy version. The game offers two different gameplay styles: an overhead view with vertical scrolling, and a side-scrolling view in which there's a ramp on each side. There are 4 gameplay modes in which the player can only perform a few tricks. In half-pipe mode, the player must attempt to achieve the highest score possible. Tournament mode is a 5-level vertical scrolling game in which the player must race against 3 computer-controlled skaters and achieve the highest rank. Jumps are made automatically when the player maneuvers onto ramps, and tricks are displayed as a brief static image. Versus mode and rival mode are identical to tournament mode, except the player plays in a single level against a single opponent. The opponent in rival mode is a computer-controlled, while the opponent in versus mode is human, which necessitates the use of the game link cable.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
And the one on
Huh.
the N-Gage was a faithful port to the PlayStation version.
Gotcha. Okay.
N-Gage, man,
It's
crazy.
been a minute since I even thought about an N gauge.
Me too. I kind of gotta look at it really quickly and remember what it
To
looks
remember
like.
what it looks like.
That's right. It's like, is this the original N-Gage? I don't think I had the N-Gage, but
No, none of us did. Because there's no point to having it.
here's what it looked like.
I mean, I remember what it looked like. It was
I
like
remember what it
a,
looked like.
it's like a disc thing, almost, right? Like a half moon thing, almost.
Is this not gonna send to you? Okay, there we go.
I see it. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
but
what
it
it
was
looked
like,
like.
wasn't it a phone too, in addition to being like a game?
It looks like, yeah, you could pick up phone calls. Yeah.
So, I mean, none of us would have had this because
No,
we didn't have cell phones at this point.
if anybody had something like this, it would be the Sidekick.
This was way before the Sidekick. When was that engaged?
Well, the N-Gage version came out in 2003.
Let's see. So this
I would have been 7th grade.
released on October 7th, 2003. Sidekick phone. Let's see.
Sidekick's probably 2004, 5.
All right. So 2002 to 2010, but it wasn't
Really?
originally called a Sidekick. It was a Danger Hip Top. Software was designed by Danger Inc.
No
in
wonder they
Palo
changed it to
Alto.
Sidekick. What kind of name is that?
The hip top? I have no idea. That's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
They still made them in 2010? I guess that was when I was going to college. But that seems like that fad died out like between probably my freshman and sophomore years, I think.
Hmm.
Then it went on to Blackberries and then like iPhones.
Yeah, I got
Those were
my
the two camps after Sidekick. It was like BlackBerry for people who thought they were professionals, and iPhones for people who were I don't know, different.
stupid. I mean, what? No, you people aren't stupid.
I didn't get an iPhone until what was it? Four. I had a BlackBerry. I was a BlackBerry person
I didn't get an iPhone.
ever.
The end. Just I didn't get an iPhone.
I
tr-
would so happily go back to a BlackBerry. Like
I was bringing my food up the stairs just before, and I had this in one hand and it fell out of my hand and went down all the steps, hitting as many steps as it possibly can. And I was
hit
like,
more steps.
My mom was like, "What
than
was that?"
impossible.
And I'm like, "Oh, it's my phone." She's like, "Did it break?" I'm like, "No, it's not an iPhone." This thing went down every single step. Nothing happened to it. If you dropped a piece of paper on your iPhone, the whole thing would just catch on fire. On fire right now. It's literally on fire. It's
not.
because you're trying.
I so it's not about my iPhone, but I threw my BlackBerry out the third floor window of my fraternity house in college. I was very angry that day,
Mm,
and it was probably in like
you were
I don't
pulling a
know,
Tom there.
like 6 or 7 inches of snow,
Oh, okay.
and like someone went out and got it and gave it back to me, and then it was perfectly fine. And I was like, "This is a phone I can rely on." And then I put it through the washing machine and it died.
I had the BlackBerry Storm, the first like
It
touchscreen
was the
BlackBerry
touchscreen one, yeah.
that clicked
That
when
was
you touched
so
it.
bad. So
Yeah.
bad.
It was my first smartphone though.
God, my first smartphone was some sort of Android thing, and I was like, I'll never go back to one of these.
My first smartphone after the BlackBerry was an HTC.
Ew.
And I was an HTC guy until I was an HTC guy until I got the Samsung, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so my first smartphone was a Samsung.
Yeah. And
And I would never go back.
I'll probably
Never.
stick with Samsung.
I just.
The Galaxies are really good now, man.
How am I supposed to use my Apple Watch and my AirPods with my Samsung phone?
Cry me a river. It's not my fault that you paid extra money for stuff you could have gotten normal brand shit with that's probably better or the same.
No, definitely not. And
Yeah.
Crimea River is 2002, so we can't cover that on
Cry
here.
me a river. Here I am, doing everything I can, holding on what I am, pretending I'm a Superman. I'm trying to keep the ground on my feet.
The
Seems the
ground
world's
on my
falling
feet. That's
down
such an
around me.
interesting way to say it. Trying to keep the ground on my feet.
Yep.
Not my feet on the ground.
Nope.
Because that wouldn't rhyme.
Nope.
Feet on.
Feels the world's falling down around me. God, I love that song. It's such a good song.
Yeah, no. I like kind of want to use it in this video or this whatever, but then we're gonna get copyright stricken because I'm sure that's copyrighted.
YouTube.
Let's just cover it and do our own version. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll do it. I'm game.
Your game? Okay. Word. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Cool. How long have we been rapping for?
This has been going on for 36 minutes and 30 seconds.
36 minutes. Goodness gracious. About one video game. This is why I can't do like the World Wide Web, which was like a 90s invention, quote unquote. I just like I feel like we'd be talking for like 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk for a while about a lot of stuff.
I mean, we can talk for a while about anything.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why.
it's also the fact that, we go off on our tangents.
No, we don't do that at all.
I mean, I could basically read the whole all right, let's see what this before we go. Let's see what the sales section of the Wikipedia says.
Do you want to know what I've been doing while we've been recording this? Like
What?
where my brain went? It was like, oh, you need to order protein bars. So I Googled the protein bars that I want to order. So I want to go like directly to the supplier, but it's more expensive if I do that, which is some shenanigans. So I have to just order it on Amazon, which I canceled my subscription to because I hate Amazon.
Would you like to give
No.
me the money and I'll order it for you and have it
absolutely
shipped to your
not.
place?
I don't like big Amazon.
Yeah, but
I would
you don't
rather give my money to big NetRx.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have to pay more, and then you're gonna have to pay for shipping.
I don't care.
If you use
I would
me,
rather pay for shipping.
if you give me the money.
Amazon.
All right, how about this? You give me the money for shipping, as extra. Therefore, you're paying for shipping, and it's like you're getting the product from the other people.
I could just use my roommate's Amazon account.
No.
I just refuse to do so.
No. You got to use my Amazon account. You got to give me money.
No, see what happens? So I used my sister's one time, and I shipped it to her house because I wasn't paying attention. So that's probably what would happen. Is I would order it, be like, oh yeah, just go, and it would go to you, and then you'd have a 27-pack of NetRx protein bars.
That I would probably just throw out because they probably taste like crap.
I mean, one of them is crispy apple pie. Tastes pretty good.
That sounds good,
And
but
the
it's a
one,
protein bar.
super cookie crunch, and then chocolate chip cookie dough.
Cookie Monster. Anyway, the sales section of the Wikipedia. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was the third highest selling PlayStation title of November 99.
Not
in
of
the
all
United
time,
States.
just of November
Yes.
99.
From its release date to late... Why do I have to yawn when I start reading things? Makes no sense.
Because no one
Excuse
knew
me.
that you could read.
From its release date to late December 1999, the game shipped in excess of 350,000 units and was available in over 10,000 retailers nationwide. The PlayStation version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater received a Platinum Sales Award from the Entertainment and Leisure Software Publisher Association, the ELSPA, indicating sales of at least 300,000 copies in the United Kingdoms. The PlayStation versions of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and its successor were respectively the third and second highest selling console games of 2000. The Nintendo 64 was the sixth highest selling Nintendo 64 game in the U.S. during the week of November 19th to November 26th, 2000.
Boom.
So it was high up there and well deserved. I bet right now, if you go back and play, it probably didn't age well.
I mean,
you
nothing.
said you played it right a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's still playable, like any N64 game. You just it's as playable, maybe not as playable as was that not Coliseum, Stadium.
Why
I
don't
think
Why
I
don't?
think Pokemon Stadium might have held up the best of all of the N64 games.
Oh heck yeah!
I think that's still like a very playable game.
Oh yeah.
Maybe because they haven't made anything new since Coliseum. That's why I still think of it so highly, since there's nothing really that compares to it. But no,
Well, there's the Gale of whatever on.
Gale of Darkness.
Yeah, that was
that GameCube.
Yeah, or there was one on Wii, I think too. But I think so. Yeah.
Was it a port or was it?
No, it wasn't Gale.
Release?
It was its own thing. But
Okay.
I don't think it was very good. The reason I remember Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 more is because you could play as Spider-Man.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
I just remember playing as Spider-Man. That was cool.
Yeah. That was cool.
Like Spider-Man on a skateboard.
I don't understand how they were able to license that. I guess that was before Spider-Man was big. Was that before the Spider-Man movie, or was that for the Spider-Man movie?
Well, let's see, because Spider-Man 1 came out 2002.
Yeah.
So
it must have been. I think
Hawk.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was 2001, wasn't it?
This says 2000.
2000. Okay.
Spider-Man.
Was it late in the year 2000? Or was it like a Christmas release or something?
Spider-Man is a Marvel series character, and a fictional character in Tony Hawk. He can be unlocked by getting 100% in career mode with a created speed. Excuse me.
You can't read the word skater, can you?
I can't?
That's the second time you messed up on skater.
What did I say? What did I not say?
You said Spader that
Skater?
time.
No, I said skater.
No, you didn't. You
Yes, I
definitely
did.
did. And then the first time you said scat and not skate.
Okay, I remember I said scatter. No, you don't want to be a scatter. You want to be a skater.
He was a scatter boy. Said see you latter boy.
It doesn't tell me how they got the rights, man.
It must have been like a promotional thing for it. It's the only thing I can think of.
No, I just don't think it was
It was expensive. They just did it.
Spider-Man 1. Maybe I'm just not remembering that movie came out in 2002. Yeah, it came out in 2002. So they must have just were able to use it. Got the rights for it without any sort of thing.
It must have been before Spider-Man was like a big thing. Like,
What are you talking about? He's a huge thing in the 90s. We could do a whole episode we should do a whole episode on the Spider-Man animated series.
I mean, we can.
We should.
Which of the animated series was... so one of them was the 80s, though. Was it Batman? Superman?
No.
No, both of them were the 90s?
Yes.
Are you sure?
They were like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and weird ones like that, but the animated series was all 90s. X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Iron Man. Alright, I can no longer hear your voice. There you
So
go.
Batman the Animated Series was September 1992. I was less than 1 year old.
I love that show. We need to do episodes on each of them.
Okay. So do we do March is Marvel month and we just do Marvel month. Animated month?
I'm
we
okay
just
with that.
do Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, X-Men.
X-Men. Okay. Okay.
All right, yeah. So I think we're going to end it on that. So
Yeah.
give a little preview of what we plan to do for the next...
I think we did this last time, didn't we?
No,
Or did
because
just talk about
we
other
talked
things?
about Pro Skater during the week. We
Oh,
wanted to
gotcha.
do it.
Okay.
So it wasn't...
Okay.
So with that, concludes episode number
Number deux.
Bleh. I hope you enjoyed us talking about Tony Hawk Pro Skater for like 2 minutes out of
And
the
then,
45 minutes
oh
that
God,
we've been doing this. And these files are going to take up a lot of space on my hard drive.
yes.
Do you have anything final to say, Kevin?
No, I don't have any social media to plug. We have the Twitter, but it's not really up yet. Um, Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Do that. Also, the bell
Yeah,
for notifications when we post new videos.
of course.
Obviously, it's not as often as we used to, but
I think we're gonna do Wednesdays, right? Unless something crazy happens.
it might be easier to do Wednesdays because I sure as heck don't want to do them on the weekends.
And I work from home on Wednesdays, so I don't even have to go outside all day. So that's why I am still here.
Well, with that, those things that he said, those things that I said,
The things, all of the things.
you'll see me next time.
Bye.
Okay, I was like, hey, you want to say anything? But I guess not. Okay, bye.